Well, it says I'm live. Hello, crafting buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am coming to you at 11:57 p.m. here in Wisconsin on Monday, November 3rd. Let me take a couple of minutes to get my devices set up so that hopefully I can watch to see if people join me. And hopefully keep up with comments. We're almost there. All right. Very good. We are, I think, in business. And I kind of don't have a real plan again. So let me get my red inks. Because we may need those. We'll see. Hello, Yuda. Welcome. So, let's see if I'm a little crooked, I think. Just a couple of quick announcements. November 12th. I thought this was for demonstrators only, but it's for demonstrators and customers. Stampin' Up! Is doing a Craft and Create. November 12th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a free live crafting event where I'm not sure if they're going to show us new product. I think probably some of the new stuff that's coming out, maybe with the online exclusives. You get a lot of good ideas. We're also having our second virtual craft class. This is on November 20th. It's going to feature the brand new Brushed with Beauty Suite collection. And if you want to order the class, it's $30, I believe. That's what the first one was. The class is number 170074. And if you want to order the suite collection, it drops on the 4th. So in just about an hour, my time. So midnight, Utah time. This last one from October is still available. I imagine it will be available for a while because the recorded or the live portion was recorded, so you can access that anytime to see how they did the projects. And there was a whole, I don't know where I left it. Here we go. There is a whole packet of cutting directions, die cutting, paper cutting, directions on how to put the things together. But I have to watch it because I purchased it, but I haven't watched it yet. So I don't know what the projects look like yet. So that's what's going on with Stampin' Up! We have some new online exclusives that are going to drop on the 4th. So in about an hour. We have new kits that are going to drop. December, because we're already in November. Next month starts the product of the month, where Stampin' Up! Is going to, instead of Celebration that we used to have like in January, February, Stampin' Up! Has done away with that. And they're going to a product of the month. So in December, they'll offer the first product of the month. I believe the threshold for a purchase is $75, and then you will be able to purchase that product of the month. I thought they forecast the price at $5. And I guess it's a really, whatever it is, it's a really nice product. So I'm anxious to see what that is. I have not seen it yet, so it'll be a surprise to me at this point. And let's see what else can I think of that's going on. That might be about it for new stuff. But if there's more announcements, I'll get those on tomorrow, Tuesday, because that's when demonstrators get updated on whatever's going on. So I thought I hadn't played with Gingerbread Man for a while. So I thought we would do I'm not sure exactly if what's in my head will come out on paper, but we'll see. I thought I could try to do like a treat box with the Gingerbread Man and maybe just a couple of cards. So we'll see how it goes. And I brought in, hey Juju, I brought in the velvet paper because I thought that would be fun. The all season velvet. I thought that would be kind of fun to do the hat in the velvet. So let's just see. That one's not going to be quite big enough. Let's get a bigger piece here. And we'll just start cutting and doing whatever. This velvet, it's so soft, but it cuts really nice. We'll cut a couple of these. I watched Juju's Spotlight. I thought I started missing something because you sped it up and then there was no sound. So I just kind of watched along until you slowed it down again at the end. And you had your little spotlight with your several pages there. So, Yuda, apparently that's your fault that Juju had to get up and do her spotlight page. So, let me just get some of these pieces put away. Oh, there is a tie though too. Maybe we'll do the bow. We'll do the bow. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way. I had to start looking for some of my paper because my studio is just, it's a mess. My two tables are stacked with stuff. My dad is coming over tomorrow. One of the gals on my team is coming over tomorrow. I think my studio is just going to stay a mess because I've got a craft fair on Saturday. And that's why I have stuff all over the place. And once again, I did not manage my time well today. I kind of goofed off most of the day. But I guess that's important. And it's so nice out. We had a really nice day again. So I did spend some time outside doing a little gardening cleanup. Got some of my yellow plants trimmed down for the winter. Like my hostas and my peonies that were finally ready to get retired. Okay, who got fangirled? I'm confused. What did I miss? So there's a tie. Or a little bow. I think we're going to make this one a girl today. The last one we did was a boy. All right. I was just trying to read comments to see if I missed anything. And I think we're going to do this. Ladybug Journals. Is it Ladybug Journals Lori or Ladybug Journals? She came on your live. So Ladybug Journals is a kind of a big deal. Because I don't do journaling. You ladies have to teach me. Oh, and I guess I don't need to put this away because I'm going to do the white. Plates. Yeah, I imagine I'll have to try to maybe look up Ladybug journals. Um, I imagine it's kind of like for us when we get a comment, or I got a text the other day from our DDM, our oh, what do we call it? Demonstrator development managers, and they're by region for Stampin' Up. And I got a text message I've gotten from a couple of times from the DDM over my area. And it's always like, oh my gosh, I'm getting notified. I'm getting contacted from the bigwigs, you know? That's kind of a big deal. Hello, Susan. Well, if you have some suggestions for me, because I came on tonight having kind of no real plan of what I was going to make. So I just started cutting stuff because that's what I usually do when I'm stuck on things. I just start cutting and stamping. So this I'm doing with the velvet. I can probably get a couple more little pieces to like put on the arms and stuff out of this little strip. It is such a cute set, and I need to use it before the holiday's over, you know. I did a couple of cards. It's been a bit. And I can go grab those too, so we can kind of revisit what I did last time. I think I only played with this once, and I haven't, these embellishments that I have, these are the real red and white adhesive back peppermints. I think they're still available. I should probably look it up. Yes, these are still available. I have used hardly any, and I thought I better use these too. I have 2 packs of them. So I need to use those up too before Christmas is gone, or before December is here and over. I'm just trying to line this up so that I can actually get these squiggles to come through. That should work. Are you talking about when Sarah from Stampin' Up, or is Sarah somebody else with journaling stuff too? Because I think I've shown you guys, this is not a real good picture of me, but I think I showed this one. I was at an event in 2023, and Sarah picked the card I made to go back to the home office with her, so that was kind of a big deal for me. Kind of. It's a pretty big deal to me. All right, I'm going to stop there because I think we have all of those done. Let's just get this out of the way, and I'll need the Big Betsy, my Bossy Bessie, when I do this, the gingerbread guys, or gals, as the case may be. We'll leave this out for now. So, when I do my, like what I call hollow stamps, where it's just an outline, it is very easy to get them misshapen. And oh, in 2011 you did a tour of, I'm assuming, of maybe the Riverton office? All right. When I have stamps that are hollow like this and they're easy to get misshapen, there's a couple ways that you can get them situated on your block. Oh, how fun. I have not been out there to Kanab. I want to. One of these days, I'll get out there. So It's on my bucket list. So anyway, a couple of ways you can do this. You can just let it relax on your paper. Don't put it on your glass mat because it's going to cling to there and it can be all misshapen unless you want a misshapen one. You know, you could do like, I probably shouldn't get warped like this, but my husband was a cop and I worked for the court system. You know, you could do like the homicide outline of a little victim. But anyway, you can let it relax on your paper because it'll move around on the paper, all right? And then it'll go to the shape that it needs to be. Or you can also put down your die if it has a coordinating die, and you can fill in the die. So if it's shaped properly, your die should fit around there nicely. And then you can put your, I need a bigger block. This block is too small. Then you can pick it up on your block. And we'll use the big honkin' block. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do some stamping on here. And I think I want to cut this out first. Normally we stamp first and then cut, but I don't know how close. I suppose it won't matter. I'm going to cut it first just because I want to cut it on the fold so that my gingerbread is already creased where I want it to be creased. And I had a lot of these card bases. So let me get Bossy Bessie out here. Oh yeah, they're very protective with stuff that's new. Even with some of the videos that I get included on, you know, let's say they've got something for like the $1 Million Achievers. You've probably seen them too. And they'll have, you know, some of the things out on the tables and some of the new product and that, and they'll cover them up, keep it all top secret. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on the fold. It wouldn't matter so much if I was just using regular cardstock, but this I already had it scored, so I kind of want to get it close. All right, so this is already scored. Now I'm going to cut another one because I'm actually, oh, here's this too, the little word bubble. I'm going to cut another one because I want to make like a trio of them. Hi, Bonnie. We're just doing a little gingerbread guy. It's going to be a gal tonight, but we'll see. Maybe. We'll see how it works out. So there's that one already on the crease. And then let's do one more. I have a lot of these crumb cake bases already set, so I'm just going to use a couple of these. And you may not be able to even see that I have it scored, excuse me, scored already. But these pieces are scored, so that's why I'm cutting out first. So it doesn't look like my picture is distorted tonight. That's a good thing. Huh. I just found a piece of paper stuck in my Bossy Bessie here. All right, so let's go ahead and get my Versamark. Oh, and I was, you know, that the picture that I did yesterday, the photograph that I stamped with Versamark on it, and then I didn't have enough ink on it. Well, I went to re-ink my Versamark. Oh, this is not the right one. I went to not my Versamark, my StazOn. I went to re-ink my StazOn, and I accidentally did it with the sable brown instead of the jet black. So, whoops. I was not paying attention. And I'm going to get the embossing buddy and white. And our tray. Where did my stamp here go? Hopefully my Versamark is juicy enough. Hopefully that's straight. Save the outside piece and place the cut piece inside to help position your stamp if needed. I need, for me, and maybe it'd be different if I had, if I could put my head over the top, but from where I am at, I need to have a darker background to get my stamp placed. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one too, hopefully without any difficulty or trauma to the gingerbread. That is a good technique though, to save those outer pieces. I think that looks pretty good. All right, hopefully that's wet enough. We'll see. I might need to put some more Versamark re-inker on my... Oh, we're doing all right. Whew. It just didn't seem like it was getting very wet on there. Oops. All right, I think that's pretty good. And then I should have actually stamped a face on here too. I've got a little bit of over embossing powder here. Whoops. I'm good at making a mess on these, I guess. So I think we're going to make this one a girl. So that'll go there. She'll have like eyelashes. Let's do a little Versamark with that too. I guess we'll go there. I'm trying to think how low on the face the eyes should be. That looks pretty good. Could probably use a little bit more powder though. And that might be because my Versamark is not super wet. We'll see how it turns out. Let's do another little face. And I'm going to get my Versamark re-inker and put some more juice on here. This stuff is super thick. I thought I had done this not too long ago, but I've been using it a lot too. I could probably use some more, but that'll help. All right, hopefully it doesn't get stalled again because I'm going to rinse off the spoon. A few nights ago, that's where my video just started looping around. All right, so I need Versamark on the little winky face. They could make some nice place settings. And you know what you could do even is you could probably like put two together and have the silverware in there. I might have to consider that. I was telling MacMan yesterday we need to start thinking, oh, maybe it was today, I don't remember. We need to start thinking about Thanksgiving stuff if we're going to host anybody. All right. Let's get this heat set before I ruin anything on it. Yes, the spoon got cleaned. All right. And let me find... Now the tweezers probably won't help me a whole lot. I do have a fair amount of powder on here though. Excuse me. I feel a little uncoordinated with them put together here trying to heat this. It's like me trying to crack eggs with one hand. You'd think having chickens and doing eggs a lot, I'd be really good at it, but I'm not. I missed a little bit over here. Well, my fingers are doing a little hot foot dancing because it gets pretty warm. All right, I think I have it all. Better make sure I have the eyes on this one though. Yeah. All right, I think we're good there. And then what I'm going to do is cut off part of an arm. And I could act like this one got partially eaten, but I think we're gonna play with that later. All right, and I probably should have embossed it first before I cut it up. So I'm gonna do one more here. We'll see how this looks. I know, ouch. That seems a lot better. I should have my Pearson mat under there as a cushion, but we'll see how this works out because I have my heat gun on it right now. Okay. And this one, I'm not going to worry about, whoops. I'm not going to worry about the hand that I chomped off because, yeah, we'll go like this, I guess. And then we need faces on this one too. I'll just put little smiles on, I think. Back with the powder. Now this one I can use my tweezers on. That'll be easy. Crippled gingerbread guy. We won't even be able to see that part later. All right, so I suppose I could just leave that on. And then this one, I'll be able to use my tweezers on this one too, I think. Just get a bunch of these all powdered. This one's got a little spot on the paper right between the eyes. I think this one I let all the powder fall off kind of fast. That should be all right. All right, let's heat it up some more. Hi, Vicky. Hello, Tanya. Well, we're going to put hats on them, so we'll see. And if the faces are too low, then they're, I don't know what. I could always redo them, but we'll see how it looks. When I did that first one, it's like, oh, I don't know exactly where the face should be sitting on here. All right. And I have these for later, I think. Okay, so what I thought I would do is, and I actually probably embossed the wrong side, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna go with it. I want to put these together and make a trifold card, kind of like this. So this one's actually going to be on the top, and it is what it is. All I did at the very beginning was cut out a few velvet pieces, and I'll have to cut out more probably. And I cut out the gingerbread guys, and we were embossing, and that's about where we're at. All right, so we're going to do like a little trifold here. And let's burnish the little creases here so that the gingerbread guys all kind of line up here. Now, what I don't know if I want to do is, do I want to put this on a card base so that these come out? I don't know. And then this, I'm not sure why there's a slit in there, because it's not like you're going to put it on the gingerbread guy like that or like this. So I think it's just there for texture. But that's going to go on this one. And if I put the hat all the way down so that the curved ends meet, I think the face is going to be okay where it ended up. I think it'll be all right. Let's just glue that on, and I'm not going to put glue on the pom-pom part. And then we have the little bow here. So we'll glue that on too. And I had kind of intended on getting in here a little earlier tonight, but we know for those of you that were here earlier, I made it on just a little bit before midnight again. I was looking for some of my Christmassy paper, but then I discovered that it was from that Traditions of Christmas online, or that virtual class. How do gingerbread cookies practice composition? They always place themselves at the sweet spot. Rule of yum thirds. Cute. All right, let's use my little tweezer here. All right, so I got a little bit of powder on my table there. And then, because I haven't used these little peppermint gems, I'm going to make buttons out of gems, I think, because I need to use these. And they come in 3 sizes, so the small ones might be a little too small. So we'll go with medium. And we could probably put those on every one of our gingerbread guys or gals, but I should probably make sure that we have ties and hats on all of them, because these two look kind of silly. So we'll do more hats. We'll cut out more hats. I'll need another piece of the rod. And then that'll be for 2 of those. And then the bow, we can make different bows. I'll make one of those. And then we'll do one more of the one that we just did. This is my take your pick tool. I have, I probably have about 7 of these. It has a putty tip, and then there's putty in the whole end here. And when you screw it on, there's a hole here where you can actually see the putty inside. And it creates pressure from the air that's inside the cylinder. So when you need more putty, you squeeze it until more putty comes out, and then you unsqueeze, or you twist rather. Twist and untwist. Because once you get some of the putty up there, then you want to stop the pressure. And then you just kind of mold it around the tip. All right. And then on the other end, there's a pokey tool. I use it a lot to lift up the edge of my tear and tape. But there's also a spatula end. So some people use either of those ends for doing their gems as well. But I love my tool. I'll use it to pick out dimensionals also. But I have 4 of them right here at my table. And then I have some on my class tables. I have some with my die cutting machine that has the brush end on it. I have one in my carry pack where if I just grab, oh, I have 2 like that. I might have more than 7. Yeah, I have a few of those. All right, I think we're done with that one. Let me get my little Betsy out here. So, Bonnie, you weren't crazy about the tool. Some people love it, and maybe some people don't use it at all. A lot of people, like for the gems, will use their snips. And I don't do that. Part of what I have found with the putty end of this is that people think they can just pick up the gem. And you can, I guess. But that's typically not how you're supposed to use it. And some people think that once it comes loose that they have to, yeah, it's a Stampin' Up! Tool. Some people think that once that putty loosens up, they have to throw it away and then they have to put more putty on here. It is like a pokey tool for gems. But really all you have to do is mold it back on the plastic tip. And I find that pushing my gems off the plastic works better than trying to lift them like this, because usually that doesn't work. And then all you do is you push the putty down so that you're getting that plastic tip. It does have other accessories too. Yep, you're right, Juju. There's a cutting, there's like an X-Acto knife, there is a rotary tool, and my X-Acto piece is out on, I have it on one of my things right now. But there's this different pokey tool. So this one has a much finer tip, or a narrower cylinder on there. And then this has a nice, almost like a dental tool. So you can pull bits out of your little dies when they're stuck. And then there's also this rotary tool that perforates paper. So you can run it on things. Let me find a scrap. You can run it and make perforated lines. So when I did some wedding invitations, I used something like this. Stampin' Up! Didn't have one of these at the time, and I wasn't doing Stampin' Up! At the time. I made like some, the old airline tickets where, you know, it used to go on the sleeve, and then when you pulled the ticket out, there was that perforated end. I did some of that for the RSVP tags, and it was really kind of fun. So this tool has a lot of different functions, a lot of ways you can use it. All right, so let's go ahead and get these other things cut out. Stitch marks, yeah, pretty much. And then the other thing too, let me find the right piece again. Here. So depending on how hard you do it, it's actually like perforated. So it's like a, I didn't push it real hard because I didn't want to go onto my glass mat. But it's like a tear off. You are welcome. Thanks for asking. So think on whether or not we need to put our gingerbread guy on. Raffle tickets would be perfect. If we need to put our gingerbread guy on a card base. Yes, we need him on a card base. Okay, them. More hats. Or should I do one of the hats in green? Should I do one set in green and another set in red? I haven't cut these yet. I don't want them to all look the same. Because that one kind of go there. We could do a green set in the middle. That'll kind of go there. Let's get some green. And this velvet is really nice. I mean, you saw me put it through the trimmer, and it trimmed up really nice. I did turn my paper over though so that the velvet was down. But it cuts really nice. And you can see all these, hopefully you can see all the little cuts in there. It goes all the way through the velvet really nicely. So let me grab some cardstock for the base. And then I need to find some Christmas paper. All right, so this, ooh, they lost their tops. This would be the red hats, the red hats on cherry cobbler. So that's a little darker red. And this would be the hats on the real red. But if I put a layer behind here, it won't really matter. You could make tickets for a journal. Yes, you can. Oh, there you go. Make a lace dress for one. And in fact, I had actually thought about doing clothes on one of these, and I forgot about it. So if we cut another gingerbread out of the designer series paper, we could makeshift some clothes for one of them, maybe not for all of them. But if you just snipped like a little bit for the hands, let's see here, if we did, oh, maybe about like there. There. We'll just use the head as a template to make a little curve here. They could have a whole little jumper. But I was thinking more like just a shirt. So you could even, I wonder if, we could cut this. We could cut that off with a little ripple effect. That should be pretty close. can just maybe round that off there. And kind of round that off there. Oops. So one could have a little shirt. All right, let's go ahead and put this bow on so that I don't lose these pieces. Well, Bonnie, maybe you should go to sleep. Hard days deserve good rest. I took a nap earlier. It was unintentional, but I sat down, and that's what happens when I sit down. I fall asleep sometimes. That's why I try not to sit down. Because then my body thinks it's time to quit. I think this actually, whoa, that was close. The bow actually kind of goes up or goes down. We'll make it go up. I think that's probably how it's supposed to go. And then I'm going to put a dollop of glue on here instead of on the little piece before, because that's what I did before, is I put it on the little piece and then I had a hard time keeping my fingers out of the glue. So what do we think of the little raggedy shirt here? Keep it? Or maybe I should trim it down so it matches under the gingerbread dye. What do you think? Keep it? Okay. Should I make it so that it matches with the line of the white? He could have a matching stripe on his hat. And with the hat, you don't need a whole lot of glue either, because it'll seep through the texture lines. I don't spend any time editing my videos. I probably should once in a while. Like when my granddaughter said, "Dang it." These little pom-poms don't match up. So maybe this little one with the shirt on isn't going to have a pom-pom. He's going to have a beanie. Because then I don't have to worry about it showing through when we have the card closed. I do need to have these lined up a little bit better though. And then I'm going to trim his head just a little bit because it's showing. That'll work. All right, and then what about the shirt? Do I trim it down to the white line, do you think? because it looks a little oversized, like it's not fitted. Let me think. Where is my big block? Here. So if I do some Versamark, and if I put it on the shirt, oh, for Instagram, I suppose, yeah. All right, I made a real mess with my powder today. I am out of control. All right, let's take a look. And let me get my heat gun ready again. I have to plug it in again, sorry. Wow, 4,000 viewers on Instagram. That is awesome. Well, have fun, Vicki. Thank you for popping in. And we will just do a little bit of fussy cussing here. I need to come up with a retirement card too. One of my good friends is retiring soon. So I need to come up with something special because we have been friends for over 45 years. So I want to make her a nice special card. All right, let's go back here. So I think that looks better. All right, so I'm going to have to get rid of these little pieces too, because they look funny to me. Oh, that's fun. Are you going to take gingerbread cookies for them to have as a snack? That would be fun. There, I like that better. All right, that one's getting a shirt. Sounds very fun, Susan. All right, and then we'll still put the green tie on here because I think it still needs a little something, or the scarf rather. And then I am just checking my site here. And, oops, back up here. I just need to get a little shopping cart here going. So what card base do we think we're going to use? The bright red or the cherry cobbler? Oops, I need to glue this on. Oh, sugar cookie ones sound really good to me. And we still need to put some more of these on here too. Yeah, I've not ever eaten a gingerbread house because they get so stale. Okay. And I'm going to have to trim this little head too here, because the little crumb cake part is showing through. I don't know if it showed up on the camera or not, but I could see it here. And then we'll add some of those gems. Take your pick tool. I think we'll use little ones on this one, and I'm just going to put 2 of them because of the shirt, and we'll do the medium ones for here too. Now these peppermints are really flat, so I could probably just lift them up with my fingers. But I am in the habit of using my take your pick tool. All right, do we know? Let's make sure this is a good size. I'll do 4 by 5 1/4. And if I do think maybe the cherry cobbler. And I'm just thinking if I do, well, we'll just do it normal. We'll score it at 4 1/4. And 5 1/2. So we could do it a flashy floral background, or we could match the gingerbread shirt. So what do you think? The plaid or the floral? I lost the cover. There we go. The plaid. Okay. So let's go ahead and glue this on. And do I mean, I could do a full piece, or I could break it up. Maybe I'll try cutting this down a little bit. Let's do 1.5 pieces. And we could maybe even do both. I think I'm going to have to put another layer on there so it looks a little more finished. I think we'll still need all the plaids. I think that'll look better. But I think that kind of breaks it up a little bit. What do you think? All one solid piece or the strips? I think the strips work really well. I'm gonna go get one more piece of, oh, I don't need to go get it. Let's do this one at 4 1/8, and then 5 3/8. And these, I just think it'll look more finished. I probably could have done those slightly bigger. I'll do this one like that. There we go. But if I make these all just a little bit narrower, it'll work. Okay. That way we'll have more of an even border around here. I I think that'll kind of work. That'll space it all right. So I'm just going to leave those, the top and the bottom ones there to help me align the paper. I didn't press that one down real hard yet just because I might want to shift it a little bit. I think that'll work. All right. Ooh. All right, let's glue on our first gingerbread fella here. A little bit on the pom-pom. And then we'll just try to center it. All right. So then there'll be our little gingerbread fellas, gals and guys. So that one's our gal. Maybe I should have put pants on the boys. I don't know. We'll see. And then I need to figure out what we're going to put in the little word bubble. And if that word bubble is probably not going to fit here, we'll have to put it maybe on the inside. Oh, I have to, I guess I should have fixed that to my card, hey? Because that won't work if it's loose. There we go. Almost forgot that was an extra layer. So when I do a white layer on the inside, I can probably we could trim that one down and put that on the inside. Let's see. So I need to, where did my pencil go? I'm going to kind of go like down here. And we're just going to trim part of that off. I'm going to trim part of that head because it looks a little misshapen to me. Because I didn't stamp straight. That'll work. And then we'll do this in white. find a white scrap here. We'll do the Oh Snap. Whoop. Let's hang on just a second. I'm going to get my clear. I'm going to make that shiny. Hopefully. Since everything else has some embossing on it, we should do this in embossing too. Hang on just a second. I got a message coming up on here. Alrighty. Oops. All right, one more time with our little embossing machine here. Then I'll have to find some kind of little Christmassy greeting for the front of there too. I can put him in there with a little Oh Snap. Oh boy. Ooh. I gotta close my ink. Oh no, it got on my gingerbread guy. I'll have to make another one. But luckily this was the one that was on the front. It landed in my ink. Man. Well, I'll finish that some other time so you don't all have to wait for me to finish that. But these will go in here. This will go in here. And I'll probably put a white layer in there so I can write in there too. But I'll have to do another gingerbread. Luckily I have another one, except, yeah, I was going to use this to make a box. And I think I'll maybe do that next time. So that I don't mess it up again. It's a little hard to get on that edge. I might have to get a marker to finish that out. All right, I'm closing up my inks. I'll get another gingerbread folk on here because I don't think I can cover that with anything. We'll put another gingerbread person on there. The Oh Snap will go on the inside. And that'll be our card. Got all of those on there. I'll probably have to do something, some other kind of gems on here too. Maybe some more of the peppermint pieces. And I'm not sure that I like that Oh Snap. We'll have to see how it looks once I get the color around the edge. Let me get a marker. That might be better. And then I thought I had some white layers out. But I guess not. So that can go in here. Our gingerbread boy can go there. The Oh Snap can go there. And then there'll be room to just write a cute little message. And I will do a new gingerbread person here. And let's find our little swirls. Maybe we'll do some big ones. There, what do you think? I think I should have, I don't know, done something with the border so it's not straight. Because it looks kind of, I suppose I should have had this zoomed in a little bit for everybody, huh? Well, I may end up reworking this card. We'll see. Or I could even use that as a stencil. But I think this is all I'm going to do for tonight. I think I've done enough damage. It was cute until I got ink on there. So I'll redo this. I'll redo this one. And maybe even do, there's a little coffee pot or a coffee cup in here. I have a big mess here tonight. So there's a little coffee cup too. I could give this one a coffee cup. That might be kind of cute. All right, so I'll finish working this up. I'll show you next time what I ended up with. I'll try to rework this with my, in between my visitors tomorrow. And we'll see what I can come up with. I don't want to lose any of my pieces here. All right, so I'm going to call it a night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for chit-chatting. And until next time, I'll say happy crafting. Good night, everybody. Enjoy your day.